Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Steve, and today I'm continuing work on my dashboard on the Chicken, the 1976 GMC Motorhome I'm renovating. And so you can see the dashboard is pretty well taken apart. I just put some 1/8" foam across the top. I'm going to put some thicker foam across the front there, just to provide a little extra insulation for the passenger and the driver. And then I'm going to work on um, making the various components of the dash, and I'm going to do it out of plywood, 1/4" plywood. I think it's going to look pretty cool, but I'm going to design the pieces using CAD software, and I've got a friend of mine, Aaron, who's going to, and maybe James, who both have CNC machines. I'm going to work on cutting out the various pieces of the dash and putting it together. I know the wires look like a big old tangled mess, and part of the reason is they were all in a wiring harness that I unraveled to remove unnecessary wiring and things. So anyway, let's do a little time lapse on putting the new rubber on there, and then later I may show you a little bit about how I do with the CAD design, which is like many of these things, I do a little different than most people. So let's get to it. All right, so I've added the thicker foam for some insulation. There's still a few spots left, but I ran out of the foam. I think I might just use some of the thinner stuff in those little areas. It doesn't have to be perfect. And of course the wires are still all lying around, but I'm going to leave them unbundled until I've got everything hooked up and can verify that it's all working. So that's part of my motivation for getting the sort of the basic dash done, so I can verify everything before kind of sealing up or wrapping up the wires and closing it up. So I think this looks pretty good. So now I'm going to work on figuring out the shape for the top of the dash, because obviously that's the most important. And yeah, that's the next thing. So here I have the ventilation section from the original dash, and then I designed and 3D printed these pieces across the front, which will work as the defrost. So the windshield's going to be right here. And so right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this cardboard over here to make a sort of an approximation of what the top of the dash shape should be that's going to be cut out of plywood, so that when I'm over at Aaron's and we're CNCing out of wood, we can compare it to the template before we actually cut into the wood. We can do test run on some cardboard or something else and just verify that indeed my CAD design is the right size. And so you can see here I've got the design that I did using OpenSCAD, or OpenSCAD, I guess is what people call it. And that's what I'm going to use to design sort of all the pieces for the dash. All right, so it's all just kind of resting in place there, but it does look like the cardboard cutout that I made is about the right shape. It's not sturdy enough to actually hold up the dash, which is a little dusty right there. But I've refurbished the gauges, and I'll talk about those in another video. And then in there, I'm putting this in here, which is this touchscreen controller that I made to talk to the HVAC and various other things. But I'll talk about that also in another video. And yeah, so I think the next step is to cut out the top piece and over at Aaron's. All right, thanks for watching.